Alright, yeah, as you can see, this is another Napoleon Total War online battle that I played. In this battle, I commanded Sweden in an army somewhat similar to the one I played before against Russia, but a bit different. I'll go over that in a minute. Whereas my opponent, Olaf 92291, played as France. This was a very exciting game, and I'm going to quickly go over the builds. So I had, of course, a general staff, as you always do. I had 4 lifeguards afoot. I had 2 militia as meat shields. I had 4 regular line infantry. I had 8 mounted Jaegers, 2 of which I put experience on, and 1 lifeguards of horse. I also put experience on 2 of my lifeguards of foot. As for my opponent, he has a very unconventional build, going for quality over quantity. He's got his general staff. He's got a 6-pounder foot artillery with 3 ticks of experience on it. He's got a howitzer with a tick of experience on it. He's got 2 old guard. He's got 4 young guard. 3 Polish legion, each with 2 experience. And I believe it is 4 Voltigeurs. And now he kind of does the little, like, stake fortress strategy that a lot of people do. And you saw probably his volts moving up there. Oh, and now he takes his first shots with his foot artillery, which, you know, go for my general. And noticing that, I decide I'm going to kind of put my general. First of all, keep him far back at first and kind of stick him in these trees to give him at least some cover. And I figure if he's going to be doing that, of course. Also, you'll notice he doesn't have any cav other than his general, which is a very interesting move for France. I kind of underestimated him when I saw this, but it ended up being a very fun game and well worth bringing on the channel, I think. So, really, I'm just decided I'm going to start pushing up, kind of, you know, in a fairly normal way, I guess. And I decide I'm just going to kind of do a bit of a test on him. I move my mounted Jaegers, like 2 of them, just way up on the flank, the 2 that have experience. And here he's got, you know, a whole bunch of good troops. And I think, you know, maybe I'll just swoop around and maybe see, you know, how he responds to that. And given that he had no cav, honestly, I should have done more of this. Done things like made him keep a bunch of troops near these cannons instead of in the fight. But I didn't do that. And, well, you'll see how that works out for me. Either way, I get them just way up on his flank. And honestly, I wish I would have just done a, you know, immediately when I saw he wasn't responding quite yet, done a quick push and taken some pot shots. Instead, I let them get in position, and he relatively quickly notices what's going on and moves his infantry into position. Does he do that yet? Yeah, and like... Okay, so yeah, see, I could have taken the pot shot, I had time, but right here he notices, starts getting into position, and all that's going to happen is I'm going to retreat my horse away before he can really do anything. And here I decide, since he's setting up that stake fortress, I'm going to just maneuver way around on his flank. Honestly, this is another decision of mine. I kind of question what I maybe should have done is maneuvered around this way instead. So that my right became my center, my right became... how should I say this? So that what's currently my right became my center, my right became fairly unguarded, and my left wrapped around his flank. Instead, I shifted even further this way, doing kind of the opposite. And it works out okay for me. I mean... at some point these stakes will be fairly relevant, but, you know, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm getting my troops around on his flank. My cav takes serious damage here in the process, and that's a part of why I think I shouldn't have done it this way. And like, given that there's stakes here still, but they've all deployed, I could have an easy path through here. Okay, so here's the first shots he takes. Shooting at my militia, which, you know, that's what they're for. And all my guys just kind of are getting into position. They're a bit winded now, which is another reason why I should have done it a little bit differently. Just pushed up through here and used this slot. Had I done that, I think this wouldn't have been such a close battle as it ends up being. Would keep you in suspense on which way it ends up being a close battle. Regardless. So I move up here, and you know, right now I'm just kind of taking my time and moving up methodically. And I come up this way, and you know, he's shooting at my men, as bad guys are wont to do. And he's caused some damage. So over here, now this is kind of a bit of a thing. His young guard here is very isolated. And so seeing this, I just make sure to really push up my guys. And, you know, once they start shooting, as they do here, I charge in my mounted Jaegers. And at that point, I mean, he can try to retreat, which he does. You see right now there's 86 men though. He's already taken serious damage. Now there's 79. I probably should have pulled out the cav at this point. Because yeah, they get really shot up by his other guards. He shoots his own guys a little bit in the neck, so that's kind of nice. And yeah, so his young guard's very hurt here, but not really hurt enough. Meanwhile, he's moved up this way with his Polish, so I just think, yeah, I'll get my lines in to kind of be a supporting role while these lifeguards are the front line. I move up here a little bit, and they're going to take a lot of damage from these Voltigeurs. And like, he's got a whole bunch of guys here he's not really using. And oh, one thing I missed here is I did go ahead and try to charge his cannons. And when I said these stakes came up to be relevant, I thought they ended right about here. From the angle my camera was at the time I played, but they go further than that. I wasted a cav completely. You can see them dying there, running away dead there. But regardless, I mean, these guys have taken some serious damage, and they're pulling back. And my line is, you know, a bit wavering, but they're okay. And this is where, like, you know, I have a bunch of cav. I could probably have snaked them around here, charged that cav in the back, and then moved on to the howitzers maybe even. Or, you know, so here I see, okay, these guys I'm just going to kind of keep back. And these two, though, I'm going to push up because I think I can get into position to fire on these poles. And you know, he uses a pretty good use of his general ability right there. Keep everyone more. I would have maybe waited a little bit, but that's okay. And right here, having lost my cap before, I'm a bit more careful, you see, and they're right at the edge of it. Get everyone into position and start shooting like crazy on his guards and his lights, and have these militia soak up the damage, and they run away, but they've done their job. And now, right here, a few things I'm going to kind of do at once in a sec. How close am I? Okay, pretty close. So yeah, making a push up here and, you know, just kind of shooting and his, you know, isolated units and letting him push up. Well, these guards, oh, they're real troopers, let me tell you. You know, they're holding out against pretty tough odds. My line infantry here broke because they're up against a whole bunch of guys. And there, see, they've shot all their bullets. And they're just going to now sit here and kind of be a bit of a bullet sponge for now. Meanwhile here, I'm like, okay, I'm getting tired of this. Let's just push up with it. And yeah, they get their first shots with these young guard and these old guard. But I immediately, as soon as I'm in line, charge through. In fact, I'm going to do slow motion because there's going to be stuff on the left to watch too. So I charge both these cav through. That's really good. And on the left, let's see, don't need to go quite so slow motion. I kind of do, I see I've got these 3 regular lines, and he's got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys shooting at them. That's not good. So these, cav battles are going to kind of be moving around to this part of the fight. Here, so one of those cav routes, but look how that old guard, they did their job well. They paid for themselves. So turn around and I charge this Polish Legion, which I get out of square, and I charge this young guard, which I get out of square, and that goes very well. And then over here, he tries to charge his old guard at my line, and he tries to charge his general at my other lifeguards afoot, which I believe I managed to get into square. Yeah, I managed to get them into square. And here, after routing that one guard unit, I push up through and take out his foot cannon, his foot artillery, and the Polish Legion routes my saving come in, because now there's another young guard. They can't form square, and there's a Voltigeurs, so 2 units that are not going to fare great against Cav. We just focus on shooting up his old guard. Now you heard there, line of them just bayonet the Voltigeurs, and these guys, they sit in square probably a little bit too long, but that's okay. Well, at one point over here, I had one of my guards that was out of ammo do a bayonet charge that, did a little bit to his bad, cannons, I think, but not enough. And here, his poles charge my line infantry, and I hit his old guard in the back with cav, so that's great. Kind of one of the turning points there. And now I have these 2 cav units. And I'm going to decide I'm going to run them away from the Polish Legion. Unfortunately, I have them walk, I guess? And they take some pretty serious damage. Meanwhile, over here, I'm just kind of pulling these lines out, because they're really hurt. Militia, lifeguards, militia. Well, this lifeguard keeps on fighting his poles. Probably I should have stayed in combat more, and in fact, I do decide to put them back, kind of like this. Forming a circle around, semicircle around his guys. And I also pull this line infantry out to try to save it. Regroup a little bit. My horses that were walking, I eventually charge them, but it's too late. They die. He does some canister shots from his howitzers that do good. But they've disorganized and held up this side of the field for a while, which is what I really need, while these guys take out what was there. And you see, I kind of take a little bit longer than I should in organizing them, and keep shooting the routers, but the overflow bullets hit the cannon, so that's nice. But then I'm just like, okay, time to move up here. And I have I have militia on the line in 2 places, because they've come back. So that's a bit rough. Meanwhile, I try to get these line infantry into position. My general is still alive, but barely. That's okay though, as long as he's alive. And then right here, you can see me just get into a good position, while his guys are in the wrong, facing the wrong way for the most part. So here, I am really close, and I just open up fire and kill his cannon crews. And this is where things get kind of fun. He tries to rally with his general, and that's okay. And I hear my line are just exchanging shots. He charges his Polish Legion. I bet he's out of ammo. And I'm just like, okay, at that point, I have these lifeguard. I countercharge with my lifeguards. He still gets my militia a little bit, but now they're kind of sandwiched. And these lifeguards afoot, I have them do a bayonet charge while these militia come in to further support. And they're able to overall beat that. And this is kind of the end of the match. One that was close to the end, and actually I was somehow worried he might pull it through. Charges his general in, and here I think of course I'm going to win that. But he manages to run his general out of combat and charge my general. And there's fewer guys. I try to, get him out of the way and do that whole thing. Not enough men to get in a line here, or in a square here, so he charges them. And I think, okay, I've probably got it. I've got a big enough mob that I can bog his general down, but he charges through and gets my general staff a little bit. Thankfully a few at a time, because he outnumbers them, and this is my worry, is that he'll kill my general, and that'll cause a chain rout. But fortunately for me, I'm able to rush those line infantry in with more bayonets, and bayonet charge, and that routes his general, and then the bayonet charge his bolts, and they start routing, and yeah, some of my guys there are done now. Even my general starts to run away, but you know, at that point the battle's over, and I rout the Voltigeurs, and they're done. So this was a very close match all the way to the end, and I think, I mean, you see, he killed more of my guy than I killed of his. But by bringing such a small elite army, he's just vulnerable. Like, I can afford to trade units or risk units on, you know, things that might not pay off. He really can't when you're outnumbered. But all in all, very good game. You know, I hope to play you again sometime, Olaf. And yeah, I hope to play some of you viewers sometime, you know, I love hearing from you guys, and so hit me up and maybe we'll play sometime. Thank you for watching.